Welcome. This time we are doing a live stream because today we are releasing the beta version and it's still in development, so might have some bugs and we may even find some bugs during the stream, but yes, finally you will be able to try the mod. Give me your feedback so we can improve it together. Let me know if you can hear me right, if everything is okay. How are you? I'm very excited to finally show you all the new features. Okay, perfect. So first thing first, we are in Olmuakra map. I hope it's good pronunciation. I want to thank Oscar and Pixel Farm for letting me use their map in the stream. It's also a work in progress, but it looks awesome. It's a super nice map. And I will also want to thank Marlo because he was helping me with the project since the beginning. So yeah, and also thank you to everyone who is joining the channel and also the server, the Discord server. You are amazing, so thank you to all of you. Okay, so the idea is to show you how the mod works, all the new features, how we set up the controls, what are the different options, and how they change the mod. So let's start with the input bindings. So here, and then at the bottom, we have here the good harvester controls. So there are a lot of inputs. I don't have all set, and I will show you later how to set up also a Ponce, because Rodne and Ecolog and Komatsu and even John Deere, it seems to have a really similar way to work and really similar controls, but Ponce, it seems to work a little bit different. So I will show you how to set up also the mod to work like a real Ponce. So here we have a button to close the head, another to open the head, and here we have one that is a toggle. So if you press it and it's closed, it opens, and if you press it again, it closes. Then we have this feed tree forward, so it's manual feeding forward, manual tree feeding backward, and then the same but with slow speed. Here we have the feed to computer length. In some machines like Ponce, it works like the 3 species button to start the automatic program. We will see all of that in a second. The stop button, I will show you how it works later. Tilt up and tilt down, it's really self-explanatory. And then we have a tilt up and down toggle, so if you press it, it tilts up. If you press it again, it tilts down. Then we have 5 presets, so you can set up to 5 presets. Then we have open front knives and open back knives and even open all of knives. And then you have an input to open the menu. So let's see how it works. First these inputs, and later we can check how all the menus and features work. So let me show my joysticks. Yeah, perfect. So the crane movements are standard, but I have the rotator reversed because I learned that way 3 years ago in a forwarder, and now it feels more comfortable for me, so I have it set like that. And you need to know that it's the other way around. Then we have, yeah, this is one thing I wanted to show you. You need to turn on the head, so now you cannot open or process trees with the head closed. Like press the B button, and now I will tilt it up just for you to see. So this is the in-game roadmap, but I modify it a little bit so you have all the features. So if I go here to the store, I have Cobra modified and also a Rodney that will be available also to download with the mod, so you can use it. So if the harvester has full compatibility, the open and close works like that. If you press it just a little, it closes a little, just the knives, and if you hold it, it closes completely. Like that. And then if the head is tilted down and you hold the open button, it opens and goes up. So let's grab a tree here so we can check the other buttons also. So I'm here, I can now press the close button, and as you can see here, it grabs tree. It's not like the base game, you can actually grab the tree. So if I press the cut button that I set here in the left trigger, there it goes. So I have set here in the right side, right hand forward to fit forward, backward to fit backward. And then I use this right trigger like a shift button, so if I press the trigger and forward and backward, it fits slow. Then I have the fit to computer length, and I have it set with the right trigger and this button, and as you can see, well, as you can hear, when it reaches the length, it does a beep. We will talk more about it later, but I think it's really cool. So now I can press cut, for example, and it cuts. I've set, for example, here to the right and the left some presets. So for example, 3 meters, 5 meters. And if I fit length, I have it set to 370. We will check all of that in the menu in a second. So what else? If I release the tree, with this button I tilt it down, and with the right trigger and this button it tilts up. I'm just talking and saying how I have it set control, so if someone finds it useful, and then you can follow my movements later with the advanced features. So if I press this button, it tilts down. If I press the trigger button and this, it goes up. And then I have set here, yeah, if I can tree. It's a little bit laggy for me because I'm streaming and my computer is not very good. Let me know if you can see it well in the stream. But if I move it to this side, with this button forward, I open the front knives, and with this button here, I open the back ones, so I can open both. Yeah. And it's a little bit hard to set up the controls because in real life you can use all the fingers, but here you need to do everything with just the thumb, so it's a little bit hard to set up, but like that it works pretty nice for me. So I will cut this tree and we can check the menu. So now I can, for example, just leave that in the ground. You don't need to process all you want. So let's take a look at the menu. Right now, the mods controls how the head fits to length. So now the Y button is not changing the length anymore. Now it's opening that menu. And as you can see, there are lots of options here. We will check one by one what it does. So the first one is automatic feeding. I go forward just a little bit, tilt up by holding open. Let's wrap that. And I can even feed it a little bit with the manual feed, so it goes down easier. I feed it to length, and if I cut, it stops, doesn't continue. I can set this to automatic feeding, so now when I feed to length, after cutting, it starts automatically, like that. So, for example, how I stop if I don't want to do more lengths, then this stop button I set here to the bottom is the stop. So if I press now that button and cut, it doesn't go. You can also do it with the forward and backward. So let's try with another tree. Feed it to length, and then it goes. So if you press forward and backward at any time, it's just don't go. So if I cut now, it doesn't start. But yeah, I moved the length, so you don't want that if you want to cut the length. So what you can do is to press the stop button or feed forward and backward while the saw is running. So I do it, and now I cut and then feed, and it doesn't start like that. So let's take a look at the next one. So I will turn this off, and then I have here set file register with cut button off. What does it mean? I tilt up the head and grab the tree. Once I cut, yeah, it happens sometimes, it's not in the game, don't worry, it's not the mod. If I press the cut button, the warning ends. But if I press the cut button it just cuts. So what you can do is to set this to on. So if I press the cut button now, it fits, and then the next time it cuts. So if I press it now, it fits, and the next time it cuts. That's good, for example, if you are playing with keyboard or with PS4 controller or something like that. It's good because you can press, for example, in the keyboard X and then feed it and then X, and it works like manual cutting I released previously, so you could use it while this mod was in development. So that's the option there. Then automatic tilt up and automatic open works really similar. So if I can grab one of those trees from the ground, would be nice. Yeah, perfect. So if I open, it stays back, right? It stays down, like in real life. But if you don't want to mess with a lot of buttons because you're playing with a gamepad or with keyboard, you can set it to tilt up automatically. When you release the tree, it goes up. Even if I grab it again, and if I feed it forward, yeah, it goes up automatically, like that. So let me grab it again. This is, as I said, really similar. If I have it off, when I feed it forward, it closes completely, like in real life, because the head is closed. But if you don't want to mess with a lot of buttons, you can do is to automatic open. So if I feed it forward, it automatic moves the head. Okay, let's jump to this one. I really like this feature. So grab tree after cut. Right now is turned off. So let's try to grab another tree. So right now I'm grabbing the tree all the time, but if I have this set to off, if I cut, it cuts, but the tree is cut, but it doesn't grab it like in the base game. So if you want that feature, you can turn this on. So if I now go to another tree, let's check. Yeah, it's on, so it's not closed, and if I press cut, it just grabs it, like in the base game. Okay, so let's jump to the next one. Open by holding. We will take a look at this later when we check the pawn setup. Let's jump to the good ones. So mode. So right now it's in automatic, so you just need to press once to tap the button of cut button and it cuts. But if I set this to semi-automatic, when you are about to fell a tree, let's see if I can do this, like that. Let me put this back to off. right? So if you try to cut, it doesn't cut. You have to hold the button until it goes, like that. But once you're back in, if I tap the button, it just cuts. You don't need to hold it. This is really common in real life, because in the bottom trees sometimes are not, let's say, perfect, so the head doesn't know exactly what is the diameter, so you do it manually. And then you have also here the option to have it manual. What it means is it's manual all the time. So I need to hold it until it cuts, and then when I feed it, I also need to hold it, because if not, it doesn't cut. And you can even hold it a whole day like that, so it works like in real life. And it's reacting to the diameter of the tree, so it's really cool, because the more thick is the tree, the more time it takes to cut it. I will put it back to automatic, and then let's check the sequential mode. This is really cool feature, new feature, and it's really used in real life, so let's take a look at it. Now if I press the close button, as it's closed, it doesn't do anything, right? But if I go here and set sequential mode standard, and if I press now the close button, it cuts like that. And now it feeds and cuts while you hold it. So if I hold it a little bit, it goes and it stops. It goes and it stops. You can even cancel the saw, but you have to hold it, and then I can hold it again. But if I hold it all day, it just processes all the tree. I'm not doing anything else but holding the close button. That's really nice, and it works really well. For example, when you are felling trees, because you grab it with the close button, you fell it with the close button. You can even fade it a little bit with the close button, so it's easier to fell. And then you can hold it, cancel the saw, you can place it in the right place, and then you just hold the button and it goes like that. It's really nice. And there is also the reversed mode. I saw this reversed mode also in a Rotator and in some John Deere. I don't know if other machines have that, but in the felling phase is just the same. So I grab the tree, if I press it, it cuts like that, and then it's a little bit different. If I press the close button, it goes to the computer lens, and now it stops. So I can cut it, pressing it again. So one press, it fits. Another press, it cuts. Compress, it fits, then it cuts. And why is reversed? Because the standard mode goes while you hold it, and this you can stop the feeding by holding. So I start and it stops because I'm holding the button, and if I release it now, it continues. This also works if you have automatic feeding. I saw it like this in a real life John Deere, I think it was. So let's grab this tree, for example. So I will try to cut it, then hit the button so it starts feeding, and then I hold it to stop the feeding. So cut, start feeding, I hold it, so it's easier to fell in the direction you want. And now when it's in place, I can release and it goes to the length, and then I just need to press the button, and as I set this to automatic feeding, it goes. The map is called, I think it's the pronunciation something like Holmuakra. It's hard for me to pronounce it. It's still a work in progress. It's from Oscar and Pixel Farm. It will be released in the mod hub when it's ready. But it's amazing because it has a lot of different trees and areas, so you can do thinning, clear cutting, and it's really nice. So we covered all this part. We'll leave this as standard, and now before continue, I'm going to show you a feature that for me at least is one of the best features of the mod. So I have here 3 harvesters. The first one is like a base game. This one is like some modded harvester, and that one is my own script. Let's see the difference. I jump here, I move it a little bit so I can see the tree, like that. Oh, what is this feature? Is the rotator control. So how it works in base game. You cut the tree, and if I felt it like that, and now I go to that, well, that was stuck in place. Okay, let's put it there and try again with a new one. I can place here really quick a new tree like that, and let's see, it doesn't get stuck in the ground. So yeah, perfect. So how the rotator works in game. If I don't use the rotator and come here with the crane, the rotator doesn't have enough power to stay forward, so it rotates. But in the game, if I release it now, it goes to that direction again, and it's really weird. And also, if I grab it now and I use the rotator, it doesn't rotate because it's a big tree and you can't rotate it in real life. But when I release it, it actually rotates. So it's really weird. I'm from Spain. That's why my English sounds a little bit weird. But I hope you can understand what I say. So this is something that I don't like the base game, because yeah, if you are processing, it feels nice, because in real life the rotator doesn't have a lot of power. But even if you have, let's say, this little piece, you cannot rotate it. So if you want to place it here, for example, I can't rotate it, and it's not nice. So this is how it works in base game. Let's see what some modders did to fix that. Yeah, base game trees are super heavy. Okay, so what you can do is to not define the rotator in the specialization in the XML. So it works more or less like this. It's not free, so if I rotate, it rotates the whole tree, because it's like an infinite powerful rotator, and for me it's not really nice. It's nice if you can control it and you can put it in place, rotating at the same time. Because, for example, if I rotate it now, can you see the game right? It's super laggy for me. I hope you can see it right. So it's nice, this feature, because you can rotate it. And for example, if I use one of my presets, I can rotate here and create a pull pathwood file, for example. But it's really weird and you need to control really well the rotator. So until now you have to decide if you don't want to rotate or if you have an infinite powerful rotator. But what I did, and it's one of the hardest development in this mod, is to create some kind of force limit. So let me show you how it works with the mod. I'm really excited with this. So if I fell this tree, and now I will not use the rotator. So if I come here, the rotator doesn't have enough power to stay in place, so it rotates with the force. And now if I open, it stays in place. And if I grab it, try to rotate, it doesn't rotate because it doesn't have power. But if I open it, it doesn't rotate, it stays in place. So it's really nice because you can do things like this. I'm not touching the right joystick, so the rotator is with its own force, and if I open it, it stays there. So it feels super nice when you are processing trees. And if I now try to process this, as you can see, this is a small part and I can rotate it because it's not really heavy, especially if you can stay with it in the air, you can rotate it, so it works like a real life harvester. I think this is one of the best features of the game. It's not an actual feature like cutting lengths and so on, but it's really game changing because it feels super good. So let me know what you think about it. Okay, let's jump to the next section, the length presets. As we saw before, in the input you have up to 5 different presets you can set. I have just these two, 3 meters and 5 meters, and I have it set in this joystick left and right. So let's take 3 so we can test it. Yes, there is the option. We will see it later. If the beep sound is annoying for you, you can turn it off. Yes. Okay, so I have this preset here, 3 meters, and this other preset here, 5 meters, and you can enter in menu and let's say that we want 380 and 470 for example, and if I press those buttons now, it works like that. Not exactly for length presets, but yes for assortments. We will check it just now. So, like I said, you can set up to 5 different presets and just enter in menu and save the preset you want. I will release it when I close the stream. So after the stream is closed, I will publish the link in the description of the video that it will be recorded. It will be saved so people can watch it later, and it will be also available in my Discord server. You have the link in the description. So yeah, let's take a look at the new thing in the menu. So we have length presets. You can use it just always, or you can use it as exceptions for this packing system. So this is the first version of the packing system. I have planned a lot more here, so let's see if you like it and if you use it, and depending on your feedback I will develop it further. So right now I have just one number of segments, so it will cut always to this length. So if I cut it now, and I will set this to automatic, is easier for me to stream. So it doesn't matter the diameter of the tree, it always cuts the same length. I don't work with FTR login. I did some scripts for him and we collaborate in some things, but I'm not actually working for him, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. I did live deliver to FTR login, so he can create a proper stroker deliver for those that like more North America login. It's super nice, and he will be releasing it soon. So let's try this big tree here, so it has a lot more diameter. And here I have set just 1, and you can set up to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will leave it in 3. I think it's more than enough for now, for me at least. So you can set the length and then the minimum diameter for that length. So 370 is for logs that has a minimum diameter that is greater than this now. If it's not greater than this, it will jump to neutral. So it will cut this length up to this diameter. And then, as I set it to 3, all the logs that are not in this will be cut to this length. So I have these values by default. You can change it as you want. So let's see how it works. Grab the tree, I cut it, and now if I feed it, doesn't matter if you feed it with a feed to computer length or with the sequential mode. You can even delimit it and then process it as you want. So I'm feeding it now with the sequential mode, and as you can see, it goes to 3.7 meters because it's that length and the minimum diameter is 38 and the current diameter is 43. So got it, there you go. And as you hear, it did a different, it's not a beep, it's like beep. So it changed the sound, and it means that you need to pile it in another pile because it's another assortment, right? It did a beep, so it's the same length. And as you can see, again, other sound. And if you look at here, I'm holding the button, but it's not cutting. Why? Because it changed the assortment. So you need to release it, place the frame where you want, and then you can continue processing it. It's like real life. So let's try again with all the trees, and you can see it again. Let's see if I can grab this one. That. So first lock, just beep because it's the first one. Then I let it go and it stops. I'm holding it and it doesn't cut because it changed assortment. I can move it to another pile and then it goes, fits and cuts until it changes the assortment, and now as we have proper rotator, you can even do it like that and process it the other way if you want. What do you mean with trees sometimes start bugging? If you mean that it goes through the knives and that stuff, it's pretty normal. Yeah. It's a game at the end of the day, so it's really hard to handle physics. But for example, the in-game Komatsu is wrong. The collisions are not good, so if you try to cut a big tree, it just like it's bouncing in the head. It's super weird, but yeah. In this harvester and the other harvester, it's pretty good, but yeah, it can sometimes go through the tree and that kind of things. No, the beta version is not compatible for multiplayer right now. It's been a complete headache for me. It's my first scripting mod, and it's super hard to keep all the state updated in multiplayer. So for now, it's not compatible with multiplayer. I'm sorry. So yeah, here you have the packing system. As I said, this is just the first version. If you like it, my idea is that I can create a whole menu for the packing system, so you can have different lengths for different tree species like you have in real life. So let me know what you think and if that's something that you would like to have, and I will work on that. And I don't remember who was, but here you have the register function. You can turn it off. So if we cut now a tree, if I can grab it, like that. So I feed the tree and it's feeding and there is no beep sound. Yeah, the branches, it is what it is. It's just a texture, so yeah. You need to know that it's not real, it's not reality, it's a game, and the physics are super hard to do. So I think for farming simulator is super good. Yeah, we always want more, but yeah. No, I don't work, I'm not real life operator. I was real life operator, but for the forwarder some months, but now I'm software developer. Now I'm combining my two passions, developing and driving big machines to create these mods. So yeah, no sounds now, and it works exactly the same. Let me show you this. Those are advanced settings. This is for the rotator control I explained before. If the mod has the same XML structure as the base game, it works pretty nice. If the mod doesn't follow the in-game structure, it doesn't work. It can do weird things with some mods. So if you have a modded harvester and it does weird things, just turn this off. Okay? It's experimental feature, as I said. And then if you feel that the rotator force is not enough or it's too much, you can change it here and find your own number. For me, 4, it seems pretty realistic. You can't turn big trees, but you can turn the top of the tree and pile it for pulpwood, for example. So it works for me. And this is a little advanced, it's explained here, but it's like the threshold when it updates. So basically, if you have a lot of sensitivity in the controls, you will need to increase this, or it will feel like the rotator goes in steps. So if you feel like the rotator is in steps, you can increase this, but the higher number, the less precision. So yeah, you can test it and find your own values. I think those work nice for most cases. Then I have this here, and this is basically for the in-game harvest. So let me come here and I will buy an in-game harvester. Some other, can be this one for example. Well, but in this one is even worse, so let's try this one also. So the 80% of the mod works with every harvester. As I said, some things doesn't work. For example, the saw modes works, but the sound is not really good because the base game sound is not prepared to act to the saw. It's just like a preset and that's it. So if I tilt down the head, as you can see, the physics of the head are not good in the game. So if you want to grab a tree from the ground with this head, it's super hard and it doesn't feel really good. So what you can do is to come here and set this maxed tilt angle, something like 90 or 94, 95 degrees, and it stops there. It's like a fix for the in-game harvesters, but I will show you later my own version of the punch that will be available to download, and it has the head physics improved, so just for you to know what it does. So let's check just these different things that we have here, and then we can test some new features. So you can change here dynamically the feeding speed. So let me take one tree and I can show you. Grab that. So if I feed it manually, right now it's set to 4 meters by second. So like that. You can go up to 6 meters per second and it goes super fast. Depending on the kind of trees you are processing, it feels good. For example, with these small trees, it can even work well, but with really big trees, it's just too much. So you can change it from 1 to 6 meters per second. You can also change the slow feeding speed. So for me, it works good as 4 or 5 depending on the trees. And then I have this here. This is something experimental, so please take care with this. I will place, but I have it placed in the other machine, I think. Yeah, there. So let's grab my machine. Yeah, it's super fast. If you are doing like thinning with really small trees, you can set it up to 5 or 6 and it's super nice. In my versions of the harvester, I added like a brake in the head, so it doesn't bounce a lot. It feels good, but it's not really free, if that makes sense. So this is an in-game birch, I think. If I try to cut it, I don't know if you, yeah, like that. This tree type is not suitable, right? But if you enter here, we press on, support all trees on. Now you can cut it. But let me tell you that those branches have collisions, so you can just process manually up to here. So you will see what happens. If you come here and you cut, nice, but if you start feeding it, yeah, as it has collisions, it's a complete mess. So take care with this feature. It's nice because if you come here first with the chainsaw and you clear the branches, it works and it's fun. I like it, but you have to take care with the collisions. Yeah, it's what I said. In this version, it's not that free. So if you try the in-game ones, it's like completely free. But in this versions I did, you can change that in the XML. It's not something that I developed, but it's a little bit less free, let's say like that. So if I feed it, when it stops, it's more smooth. Obviously, the bigger the tree, the harder it is for the head, and it will bounce a little bit more. But as I said, I added like a break, so it's kind of stable. So if you are using the sequential mode, you can just hold it and it stays more or less in place, at least with small trees. So let me show you another feature. Well, this harvester is stuck here. It wasn't here before. So let's see if I can move it. Will be hard. Maybe I can cut this. I'm sorry for that. This harvester was not here before, but well, let's see if I can get out of here. Okay, it works. So we are in a really steep hill, and if you try to fell trees here, it's a little bit hard to direction the tree. So let me move the camera. So what I did is to add the force tilt down. So if I press it down, it goes down, and now if I hold it, you will see that it's pushing it to the end. So it's applying pressure, if that makes sense. It's the force tilt down. So when it's up, you press it once, it goes to floating mode, and then if you press it and hold it, it applies pressure. So if you are like that, and I want to fell the tree in that direction, I can hold it, and then right now the head is up until the tree is cut. So if you double press the tilt down, it will go to floating mode and then to force down. So if I cut and I double press and hold, it will push the tree in that direction, because it will goes down but applying force. So it's really nice if you are in really hard places like this one, for example. It's really nice to fell the trees in the direction you want. Now process it as usual, but I found it really useful. And as you can see, this is a lot bigger tree, and the head bounce a little bit more. If you follow the movements a little bit with the crane, you can fix that. And in real life, you should do it with bigger trees, because if not, you can danger the machine. But yeah, I think this is also a really nice feature. Let's try with another one. So try to grab this tree. Like that. As I said, two press, one to go to floating mode, then it goes to applying force. So I cut, double press and hold, and it applies pressure in that direction. So it's super easy to fell the tree in the direction you want. I think it's really nice. And down, let me show you a really similar feature. So let's imagine that we are thinning here. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't know what keys I'm pressing. So let's grab that. The map is Holmuakra, is still in it's work in progress. So it's just testing version, and the creators give me permission to show it in the stream. So sometimes when you are thinning, it's hard to fell the trees in the direction you want. So let's say that we want this tree to process it here, in this place here. As it is there, is almost impossible to do it. So what you can do is this. When you cut a tree, a standing tree, the head goes down automatically. But if I hold the tilt up button, I do it by this button and this. So the tilt up button and cut, it doesn't go down. And if it's a small tree, you can keep it in place, and then when I release it, it goes down like that. This is really common when you are thinning in real life. So let's do it again. This is bigger tree. Let's try to get a smaller one. This one should work. So I grab it, I hold the tilt button, and then when I cut, it stays up. So then when it's in the place I want, you can read it, and this is a lot. It's a really long tree for this, but you get the idea. So you can make it to not tilt down automatically if you hold the tilt up button. If you see some real life videos, you will understand the idea. Yes. These trees are really big, so that's why it's hard to show you, but if it's was a little bit smaller, you can grab it in the head and then you can place it wherever you want and process it like that. But with this mod you can create really nice pies. I'm just doing it really fast, so I'm doing a complete mess everywhere, but you can do it very clean with this. So let me find the harvester I want. Yeah, this one. So let's do another showcase. Previously felled trees, either with a chainsaw or with a feller punch. The mod will be available when I finish the stream for everyone for free. So just be aware it's still a development version, so it can have some bugs. And by the way, if you find some bugs, you can report it in the GitHub page that I will make it public, and also in my Discord server, so we can work all together testing it for the final version. Okay, so how you deal with previously felled trees? If you don't know, if you don't need real precision in the measurements, you can use this manual saw to reset the length. So I grab the tree here. Let's put it in the right place, like that. So now it's in the length 0, but I need to feed it back, like that. And then you can cut it like this, or if you don't want to cut it, let me do it again. You can feed it back, even if you have set the controls for slow feeding is even easier, something around there. And as you can see, we are in 125. So if I tap the cut button with manual mode, it resets to 0. So now I can process the tree. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you like the stream, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying my best, and if you like streams like that, I will for sure do more in the future. So let's show it again. If I can grab it, it's hard to see where it is, but yeah. So I feed it back fast, then I feed it slow. Around there, I tap the cut button, and then I can process it normally. This is something that you will see in real life if you don't need to be really precise. If you need perfect length logs, you need to cut the bottom, but this works a lot of times, mainly if you are dealing with not sawmill logs or logs that doesn't need to be perfect lengths. So let's jump to the Ponce. As I said before, this is available here in the store. It will be available to download with my mod also, and it has some new things. The first thing it has is fully support for all the features of the mod, like the saw. For example, if we set the saw to manual, it works perfectly. It's fully supported. Then another thing is that you can tilt it down, and the head physics are a lot better, and it stays in place and not as the in-game version I showed before. And then another thing that I added is you have the in-game inside camera and then a new camera that follows the crane. So you can mod it further, but at least it's better than the base game. So you can use it as we saw. So for example, let me move. You grab the tree. You can use the sequential modes as we see before, and it works perfectly like the Rodney we were using. But Ponce works a little bit different in real life. And by the way, as I said before, I'm not a real life operator, so maybe I can say something that is not exactly true, but I was talking with a lot of people, so let me show you how you set up the controls to feel it like a real Ponce. The first thing you need to do is to come here to the controls, and it doesn't have an actual close and open buttons, different inputs. I think, as I said, I can be wrong, but the main Ponce works with a toggle button. So I will set it here like that. Then all of this is exactly the same. This is like the 3 species button, very important. The stop button is also important. And then what else? Yeah, the tilt up and down is usually like a toggle also, so I will set it like that, and let's see if I can use it. Okay, so now in the menu you can have the automatic feeding on, because usually it works like that. Then all of these options are just up to you. So if you want to play realistic, you should turn everything off. Then some modes, you can set it wherever you want. Usually in real life they work with SemiAutomatic. And then in Ponce, as far as I know, there are not sequential modes. So like that. I can put here different assortments, and let's try. So now if I press this button, it closes, and the next time I press it, it opens. Closes, it opens with the same button. And the same with tilt. press it, it tilts down. If I press it, it tilts up. It's how it works in real life. So with the tree in the head, I can press the button, it closes. Then, as it's in semi-automatic mode, I need to hold the saw until it's pressed. Then you can manually feed it if you want. And then you have to press the feed to length button. That is like the 3 species 1 or 2 or 3 in Ponce. So for me it's here, like that. And then you can carry just tapping, and I have set the automatic feeding because it's like that how it normally works. So like we explained before, you can cancel it with the stop button or by feeding while the saw is running. So it goes, and now if I want to cancel it because I don't want this end, I can stop it, cut, and it doesn't start. So I can throw this here, tapping that button. And if you hold the open button, it also goes up. And then in the menu, something that we didn't talk about it is this open by holding. As far as I know, in Ponce you have this option also. So right now I press it, it closes. I press it, it opens. But sorry, I open this menu and set this to on. It's always closed. So it just opens when I hold it. As far as I release the button, it closes again. So it's always closed. Let's try to grab this tree. I do it up, and then I need to hold the button so it opens. And then when I'm in the tree, I release the button and it grabs it. Then you can process it as usual. Yeah. By the way, really nice map, Pixel Farm. Thank you. Thank you for your awesome work. And also thank you to Oscar. You are doing a really nice job. So, as I said, while you hold, it opens. And this is how it works in real life. So I think I covered almost everything. I don't know if you have any questions, any doubts, things that you want to see in a future version. Let me know what you think of all these things. I'm now trying to make my GitHub repository public, so you can try it yourself. Okay, I'm going to send you the link. As I said, it comes with the modded Cobra, with the modded Rotne, and with the script. So you can test all of that. And if you want to add the whole support, you can take a look at the XML of the Cobra or the Ponce or the Rotne, so you can add the support for the new animations to your own harvesters. Here it goes. Please try to open it to see if you can access it. It's the first time I'm using public repository, so please let me know if you can see it. You should. As you can see, it's version 1 beta, so it can contain bugs. So please, if you find any bug, just let me know and I will fix it. And you can go also to the main page and read the README file. Perfect, thanks. So yeah, I think we will close it here, so you can test it. Let me know what you think of all the features, if it works for you, if you are a real life operators and it doesn't work like in real life, please let me know, because I tested just an Ecolog, so I don't know if all the other harvester works the same. I tried to add a lot of options so you can use it as you want. And by the way, each vehicle save its own configuration. So you can have, for example, a small harvester with some lens to do thinning, and then a Ponce with the Ponce options, and each of the harvester save its own features, its own settings. So thanks everyone for joining the stream. If you liked, please give it a like, and I think if you liked, we can do more streams in the future. So this map is from Pixel Farm and Oscar. It's a work in progress, but it looks awesome with lots of different size trees, first thinning, second thinning, clear cutting, spruce, birch. It's awesome, but for now it's work in progress. It will be available in the mod hub when it's ready. So for now I will try to make the mod work in multiplayer, fix the bugs that we can find together, and then I have lots of plans to do more forestry mods. For example, in this map I want to contribute with the creators to create special scripts for the production chains, so we can maybe create some bad good factories or sawmills that you need to deliver some measurements and some diameters, so you can create planks, and you cannot create planks with small trees, for example, because it doesn't make sense. So we are here trying to improve the forestry experience in the farming simulator. I think we are in a good way. So again, thanks to everyone for watching. That's all for now. Bye.